Hi everyone, welcome to Halofoto Stories, the English version or the English edition for today, because we have a very special guest here with us, Mr. Tomoaki Tsunomoyama-san, or we call him Tommy-san, and he's the section manager of the overseas sales department of Tamron from Japan. Hi Tommy-san, welcome to our Halofoto Stories English edition, especially for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I think, Tommy-san, it's best we start to tell our viewers, our Sabat Halofoto, to understand a bit more what Tamron is. Because, we were talking before the show and, not everyone knows what Tamron is and where Tamron comes from and how old the history is. Maybe you can share a bit about Tamron first.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tamron is a 73-year-old lens manufacturer. Originally, we began making the rifle scopes.
Right.
And after that, we changed to the DSLR lenses. Not at that time, SLR lenses. And then the company started to grow and grow. And we really are the first lens manufacturer to make the zoom lenses for the SLR cameras.
The first one?
The first one, actually.
Oh, wow.
And we had the adaptol system, so that in the manual focus era, our lens, you purchase a lens and then you purchase an adapter. Right. So you put the adapter together, you can fit it into a Canon. Or you change the adapter, you can use the same lens, you can put it in a Nikon.
Right.
So Tamron was very famous and known because of this system. Right. So at that time, Tamron business has grown a lot.
Right.
And then came the autofocus era. And at the autofocus, we were a little bit late to start.
Right.
But once we got into the autofocus system, again, Tamron started to do something new, something that nobody else was doing. So we began with the 35 to 105 f2.8 zoom lens.
All right.
Again, this was something that was new at the time with that range, with making it a 2.8.
Right.
And then came the 20 to 200.
Right.
At that time, our president brought a cigarette box and said, make a lens in this size with a 28 up to 200.
Wow.
So that was a huge challenge for the technicians. But because that was the order that was given from the president,
right,
they were struggling and they, put in some new technologies, and finally they made it up with that size. But the new technology that they used was that normally when you extend the zoom, the base is here, and it's one rear that is going to extend.
Right.
But we wanted to make a 200 millimeter. So they made it 3 rears. So that was a triple comp. That was the first time that we had a triple comp. And later on in years, when we came up with the 28 to 300,
right,
we made it quad system, quad comp. So every time there is a new pressure,
right,
to come up with the different focal lengths. I mean, our technician, they have struggled, but they also all the time came up with some sort of lens. And that's how we grew.
So a lot of, we've seen a lot of Japanese companies in the last maybe 20 years sell themselves off to owners of different countries.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer, they are Japanese brand, but not Japanese owned.
Yeah.
Is Tamron today still a Japanese owned Japanese company? And my next question is all the R&D still proprietary? And how is Tamron still a Japanese company?
Yes, Tamron is still a 100% Japanese company, and we are listed, publicly listed in the Japanese stock exchange market. Right. And all the R&D's team is stationed in Japan.
Yes.
We do everything in Japan. But because we need to be competitive,
right,
of course, the manufacturing sites. We had to go to China, we had to go to Vietnam. And actually right now we are building our second building in Vietnam.
So it's still a Tamron operated and managed factory.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Every time we have a new facility overseas, we send in the Japanese technicians so that they can teach everybody there. So everybody can follow the Japanese way of manufacturing and the quality standards.
That's great. So today, Tamron also has a CCTV lens division, as I understand. You also have the photography lens division. And some of the people we've spoken to, some of the photographers that have appeared on Halofoto Stories, sometimes they refer to Tamron as a third-party lens manufacturer. Can you explain to our viewers why a third-party lens company or organization that makes third-party lens that is compatible across different camera brands, different mounts, features? Why do you think it's an advantage over a single brand lens manufacturer? And how come is it? I mean, that's early on in one of the Halofoto Story episodes. We had one of our guests saying that, today with the different cameras, sometimes it's amazing to see, like with one of the Tamron models you showed us earlier that has the connectivity to a mobile app, that how come we see Tamron, despite being a third party, supposedly, can come up with market leading or new technology for the lens industry?
Well, because we are the lens manufacturer, because we are concentrating only on the lenses, not on the cameras, not on the copier machine, or not on the copy machine or anything. So we are concentrating on lens only. So that's why we can come up with a unique ideas or a unique technology can brought in.
Right.
But of course, we have to listen to the consumer.
Yes.
And the consumer, if you listen to the consumer has this kind of a request and this kind of a demand. And if you listen carefully, there's always a hint. Oh, people are looking for this kind of a product. Maybe it will be good if we create something to fulfill that kind of a demand.
Yeah, it's good you say that, because when you talk about consumers, one thing I've noticed from the Tamron range is maybe 3 years ago, I think you launched your first mirrorless lens, and today I've lost count. They have so many mirrorless lenses.
Yes.
Is that the voice of the consumer that you follow, or?
Yes. The reason why we were so successful with the first mirrorless lens that we produced is because we listened to the consumer.
Right.
It was the mirrorless camera that came out. The mirrorless camera is made very small compared to the DSLR camera.
Right.
The reason why is people were always saying that the DSLR camera is too big, too heavy, too bulky to carry around. So that's why those camera manufacturers came up with this mirrorless, taking off the mirror out of the camera to make it compact. Now it's turn for us.
Right.
Us, the lens manufacturer, we have to come up with a solution to make the lens smaller.
Right.
But at the time, the standard lens was 24 to 70. But to make a 24 to 70 in an f2.8 size, even though it's a mirrorless camera, the lens, we cannot make it that small. Of course, we can make it a little bit small, but it's not going to be a dramatic small, so that the people will be able to put it on the mirrorless camera and carry around as they wish. So we came up with this idea, okay, how do we make it small? All right. The reason the lens is going to become bigger is because it's the 24 millimeter.
Right.
If we want to make a smaller lens, we have to cut off that 24 to make it a different range.
Right.
So we came up with a 28 to 75. So it's going back the time before, because 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it was the 28 to 70, the standard lens. We had to go back to those times, but we were able to make the lens small. So that's the whole concept of our mirrorless camera.
So that's the Tamron magic, right?
Yes.
We understand what Tamron is. We understand where it came from. But where did Tommy-san come from? Let's know more about Tommy-san today.
Well, actually, I joined the company almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I started off with the this photographic division, but I from the photographic division I moved to the CCTV division, and from the CCTV division I moved to the OEM business division. So actually, I have a long period of time with Tamron, and I learned a lot with all the different divisions. And now I'm back in photographic.
Welcome back. And so Tamron is based in Saitama, Japan. Was Tommy-san from Saitama originally?
Originally, actually, I was born in Osaka.
Osaka, okay.
So the western part of Japan. But my father had a business in the trading company.
Right.
And because of that, I had a chance to move to America, the USA.
Okay.
I had a chance to move to Philippines.
Right.
So I have a big background of not being in one place, but, experiencing different cultures and different, living style.
Great. Without revealing your age, you've been in Tamron a long time, and you must have seen the shift from SLR lens or SLR cameras to digital SLR cameras to digital compact cameras, and now to mirrorless cameras. And for the past 8 years, 9 years, we've heard that we will always see the mobile phone take over the professional or the semi-professional market. And then there's another school of thought that we've spoken to the other guests on the show, where they're saying, no, the mobile phone market has replaced the compact digital camera market. What do you think? Because the photographers say what they see. We say what we see, but you've been able to see the numbers grow. You've been able to see Tamron change its strategy over the years. What is your experience like?
Well, internally, that's always the big question that we had. I mean, somehow we need to compete against the cell phones.
Right.
Somehow we need to compete against the camera that is built into that cell phone. The only difference that we can make is that we can change the lens. With the cell phones, the lens that is built in, the camera that is built in is there. And today we see those 3 lenses, 4 lenses. So the cell phone manufacturers are trying hard to really compete with the new cameras. But I believe there's no way that they are going to really overcome or beat this camera system, because the camera itself has so much technologies that is built in. And the lens are not only the fixed focal lenses, we have the technology for the zoom lens. And this zoom makes what is strong for the photography.
But then, I mean, I agree with you. I definitely think, I like the word you said, the real camera and the real photo. And I think from our past guests, they've also shared all their tips, their secrets, and they talk about the real photo, right? The quality of the photo, the quality and the art of taking a photo. Do you feel, and this is a personal opinion, there's no right or wrong answer, but do you feel that in today's world, there's too much post-editing to a good photo, and sometimes the photographer's skill or the lens technique or lens product is often overlooked, and the glorification goes to a post editor or a photo editor? What is your take on that?
Well, I think that is a very hard to get the right answer.
Right.
Because editing is one way of expressing your feelings or expressing the picture passion, because you wanted to show it this way. You wanted to make your reviewer see where your real object was.
Yes.
So you want to, not manipulate, but you want to, strengthen
Enhance
that,
it.
yeah,
Enhance it.
and enhance that area that you really want to show.
Right.
So, in one way, editing, I think it's okay, and we have to accept.
Right.
But in one way, like if you are running a photo contest or something, that kind of editing should not be there. That because at photo contest, we are looking for the skill of that person. So I personally think that for the photo contest and those kind of things, we are purely looking for the skills. We're purely looking for the performance of the camera, performance of the lens itself. So for that kind of places, I wish that everybody will not do that much of a manipulation editing. But for a creator,
Yes.
maybe some sort of a manipulation editing is okay.
A good photo is always the good source of a good edit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about creating, right? And in today's world, we look at, when you started off and I started off, there was no such thing as YouTube. There was no video consumption. We wouldn't have this podcast today if not for all these medium.
Yeah.
But
all these cameras here.
Yes. But, right in front of us, I mean, our guests, our viewers can't see this. We are using great cameras with great Tamron lenses to shoot this, but it's all mirrorless cameras. And these are what vloggers use. These are what people who are recording podcasts, videos. The camera and the lens has become more than just a hobby or more than just for static images. We have seen, just today in front of us, it's all small. There's no big camcorders here. There's no small camcorders here. We're using all, very small, tiny mirrorless equipment with the lenses. But has video changed the use of the lens?
In theory, I don't think there is any difference. But again, to do some kind of a creation,
yes.
There's a lot of technologies that you can use for the still cameras, the still photography, and for the video photography. So Tamron is going to a direction that believe that videography is going to become much, much bigger and bigger. So we are now preparing to give more and more useful tool for the users to create the video, to enjoy their videography.
Right. We have about a minute to go in our segment. I would like to. What is Tommy's view? Not Tamron's view, but Tommy-san's view of the future of photography and where it's going.
That's a hard question.
I'm not here to ask easy questions, that's for sure.
Well, of course, I'm with Tamron.
Yeah.
And I like Tamron because Tamron is always looking for new things and trying hard to come up with a new technologies.
Right.
So I like to believe that with all the passion that the Tamron people have, we will be able to catch up with all the new demands coming from the consumers,
right,
and keep producing new things.
So today we are shooting this live in Indonesia. You and your colleague Wataru-san have made the trip to Indonesia. How important and why is it important is the Indonesian market to Tamron?
Indonesian market, originally when we started,
Yeah.
we were struggling to create the market and create the sales. But today, because of this mirrorless lens launching from Tamron,
listening to consumers,
we were able to create very good combination, and you have helped a lot for us to create the market,
right,
and we both grow in the market. So from the future from here, I believe there's more room
right,
that we can expand and trying new things, trying different things. So hopefully we can double our sales.
Well, that's not my department, but I'm here just as a host today. But most importantly, I think, from the Halofoto team and the Halofoto Stories team, it's great to know that, you've flown all the way from Japan, to support and to meet the photography community, to meet the dealer community, to meet some of the up and coming photographers, the students here today. It's been a great journey, and I think we look forward for you to coming back to Indonesia again. You're here. It's the first time you've seen our Halofoto app. What's your view on it?
I believe it is an interesting approach
Right.
because none of our customers are going to that kind of direction.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to see how the launch is going to go.
Yeah.
And I believe
Yeah.
there's going to be a room for another expansion.
Oh, definitely. I think for Halofoto, we want to build an ecosystem. We want to build a community. I think we have fantastic photography. I think you've seen all the sample photos that we've seen in our past events, the workshops that we've been running with all the professional photographers and the up and coming ones. You've seen the talent in Indonesia. And I think that we launched the Halofoto app is a way to show the community that Indonesia has its own home for photography. Indonesia has its own home for the news of the photography world. And we feel that sometimes, it's not always in Bahasa, and our local community needs to be served and needs to work together and build one ecosystem. In your dealer visits this week with the team, you have seen that the dealer community supports Tamron. The dealer community is one of our leading lights of sharing what Tamron is today and what the photography market is like. So with that, Tommy-san, you have the last word for today. What would you like to say to our viewers? Anything. What comes to mind?
Well, we are so glad that we had a chance to know Halo Data, Halofoto, and we would like to continue our business like this. One thing, the application that you're building, I believe this is the first approach that any distributor is trying to engage directly with the consumers, the users.
Right.
So this is the most important thing, I believe, because nobody has done that kind of approach before.
Yeah.
And I wish that this is going to change everything. Maybe it's going to change the whole business style that we have right now, because we were always relying on the dealers all the time.
Well, dealers are very important.
Yeah.
I think Halofoto will work with dealers. Dealers are the best ambassadors we have. Just talking to them, they have the wealth of knowledge of the photographic industry in Indonesia. We must preserve them. They are our historians.
Yes.
Some of our key influencers that we've been interviewing. There's so much wealth of knowledge. I think, you've met some of them. You can see they're talking about 40 years ago stories.
Yes.
And it's been great to have here. And in the interest of time, I thank you very much for taking the time.
Yes.
And we look forward to welcoming you back on the show, maybe on our 50th episode or 100th episode.
All right.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
That's
very
it,
much.
my friends. Thank you for joining Halofoto Stories. It's been a great time talking with Tommy-san from Tamron. And tune in for the next Halofoto story coming up soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.